Welcome to Cox San Diego Connection. Today we'll be discussing housing, access, affordability, and resources available for people who may need a little help to buy a home or to rent one. Some agencies go even further. It's not just about housing, but quality of life. And that's what the Neighborhood House Association is famous for. Our first guest runs it. He is Rudy Johnson. Welcome, sir.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having us.
You guys have so many wonderful programs and projects going on. How do you even begin to describe what you guys do on a daily basis?
So in a sentence, we save lives. We've been in the business of saving lives for 100 years. This is our 100-year anniversary. We're a settlement house at our roots. Back in the early 1900s, settlement houses were formed in the Midwest and East Coast, and they helped immigrants that were coming to the United States to transition to life here in America. So we've evolved into this mega social service organization serving San Diegans.
How did you arrive at the Neighborhood House Association, and tell us about the people that you work for?
So I've come full circle. I'm not just the president and CEO, I'm also a former client. In 1968, I went through this very same Head Start program that I'm now president and CEO of. And through my career, previously I was the general manager of the San Diego Convention Center. My predecessor unfortunately passed away in office, and there was a vacuum of leadership. They did a nationwide search, and I threw my hat in the ring because this is an agency that I have loyalty to and I love.
Mm-hmm. And 100 years of commitment to San Diego. How are you guys celebrating this great accomplishment?
Well, I can't take credit for all 100 years. I hope I don't look 100 years old. The previous 92, I stood on the shoulder of some giants here in San Diego. The last 8 has been my vision, my signature, along with our board of directors. So we're at the dawn of a new era, ready to transition into a new century of service, and we're feeling good about that.
You are the oldest HUD affiliated group here in town. How has that helped you help San Diegans?
So we've been a HUD approved housing counseling program for over 30 years now. So we are a trusted agency in the housing arena, and it really has positioned us very well in that pocket, that community that needs to service the most, because they knock on our door at 41st Street, and a lot of these families are dealing with foreclosure issues, or they may need an opportunity to save their home. They may be coming out of a terrible situation where they just lost a job, coming out of a bad marriage, etc., and they just need a little help to get over the hump.
You guys have a tremendous amount of programs going on. Why don't we start with Head Start? Tell us about what you guys do there.
So we serve about 8,000 children right here in San Diego through our Early Head Start and Head Start program. It's a wraparound service, a school readiness program that really gets 4-year-olds ready to matriculate into the K through 12 system. And I think we're probably one of the largest feeder systems in San Diego into the K through 12 system.
Seniors, a lot of wonderful things there, meals, exercise programs. Tell us about them.
So I'm very proud to also say we don't just serve, the babies, we serve the seniors here in San Diego County as well, and we have a nutrition program and an adult day health care program, and our board is really laser focused on the quality of service that we pay to seniors, because as you know, our community is going to be growing a little older over time as we move into the next century.
There's a segment of our population that seems to have been forgotten, AIDS, HIV patients, but you guys are there for these people. Tell me about that.
Sure, it's another core service program. Again, we run about 12 different programs. That's one of the 12 programs, and those individuals that are adults here in the inner city that are just diagnosed with having the virus, they can come to us for counseling. We case manage those individuals. We assess their meds that are prescribed and help them to ensure they take them safely. We also provide transportation to and from doctor visits, etc. So we just kind of help them deal with their situation and transition to a normal life, if it were.
You would never think of that help, considering the title of the organization, but right. You guys are there for all these people. Right. You have it, but where does this passion come from? You have, your colleagues have. Where do you get that to help fellow man?
So first of all, we have a little better than 700 full-time employees that work on the Neighborhood House Association team. And all of them have passion for helping the community. It's not just the president and CEO. Many of us are legacy employees. We may be first, second, third generation employees, and so that tradition and history of assisting your fellow man in San Diego is passed down over years, and they're really, really dedicated to their job, and I'm so proud of every one of our team members.
How can we help you? How do we reach out to you and say we're here to help? How can we get a hold of you and then you put us to work?
So first of all, let me thank Cox Communications. They've been a partner throughout this 100-year anniversary, and we really appreciate that partnership, and we look forward to growing that relationship. The general public at large can drive to our website, neighborhoodhouseassociation.org. They can give us a call, 858-715-2642, and get into action via volunteer service or make a contribution. We always like contributions.
Well, thank you for being with us. We're out of time, and again, we appreciate the work that you're doing for San Diego. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much.
All right. After a short break, we'll continue our look into housing here in San Diego with a special visit from an agency made famous by a U.S. president. Please stay with us.
This is our story, our legacy. 100 years of dedicated service, changing lives in San Diego.
It changed my life.
That place has changed my life.
The Neighborhood House Association is celebrating 100 years of service, improving quality of life and empowering children, families, and seniors throughout San Diego.
I love coming here.
Be part of our legacy. Visit neighborhoodhouse.org to help. Neighborhood House Association, a neighbor you can count on since 1914.
The Neighborhood House
Association's Head Start program
has given my family
a stronger foundation
and continues to give my child the opportunity to succeed in life.
Head Start is a federally funded child development program for qualifying families at free or low cost that provides child care, education, health services for children, nutritious meals, and parent support. The program assists children up to 5 years of age with the skills that will empower them to excel in grade school and beyond. Head Start is now enrolling. For more information, contact us today.
We're discussing housing in San Diego. How do you provide shelter for people who may be working hard but still don't have the means or resources to get a home? That's something Habitat for Humanity is very good at. No one knows more about this agency than Lori Filer. Lori, thanks for being with us. We've all heard about Habitat, or most of us, because of President Jimmy Carter. Give us a little overview as to what Habitat for Humanity really is.
Well, you're right about Jimmy Carter, and he really was instrumental in starting this affiliate here in San Diego. And they started it by building homes in Tijuana and in San Diego at the same time. And then as time, they built hundreds of homes. And then as time passed, they focused more on San Diego. And so Habitat is really about building homes for families that would never be able to afford a home. They're earning between 60 and 80% of the area median income, which for a family of four would be about $64,000.
How do you find candidates, and what's the typical profile of the people who come to you for help?
So, well, we're actually building in Imperial Beach and Escondido now, so we would outreach into those communities, and we would find families that are already living in Escondido or working, and families like, we just sold a home to a family in Escondido, and they're a family of 6. He's a landscape foreman. He's been doing that for 9 years, and his wife has been working for the YMCA, and their combined income is $56,000, and they have 4 kids, and they're living in a 2-bedroom apartment. So that's the kind of family we would be looking for.
Wow. Now also, Habitat for Humanity provides loans, 0 interest. Tell us how you do that and then take the money and help someone else.
And that is, if we're going to sell an affordable home to a family, the way that we do it is we sell it to them at a 0% mortgage, and it's 33% of their income, so it's really affordable to them. And then they make the payment to us, and then we turn around and use that money to build another home, taking all of those payments together.
And a lot of these homes are built by volunteers, if not all of them.
That-
How do you get them to learn how to hit the nails with a hammer and all that? You train people.
We do, and that is another way of making it affordable, is because we don't have that labor cost. And we have about 15 people that show up every day to work on our homes, and it's 15 different people. So you or I could just show up. We'd volunteer and sign up, but we'd show up, and our superintendent would teach you how to do whatever the job is, whether it's tiling or drywalling or painting or putting on hardy siding, anything that needs to be done, they'll teach you how to do it.
You mentioned a couple cities that you're working with. Tell us about the projects that you do have going on and how you partner with cities or the county to provide affordable housing for folks.
And we do. We like to partner with the cities, and sometimes cities can pull a piece of land together, and then their partnership is to provide the land and sometimes a little bit of money, and then we take that and then fundraise to build the rest of the home. And so right now we're building in Lakeside, and in Lakeside we're building 4 homes for wounded veterans. And San Diego has more veterans than any other place in the world, and we need to bring those veterans into the community and let them be a part. I mean, we need, as they come back, they need to be reintroduced into the community, and housing is one way to do that. That's critical. So we have 4 homes in Lakeside, and then we're going to be building 11 homes in Escondido, and 6 homes in Imperial Beach, and 6 homes in El Cajon. So we're all over the county.
And you already have candidates for those homes?
We're looking for candidates. We're looking for families as we speak.
Oh, wonderful. Now, your volunteers, you mentioned veterans in San Diego, and we do have a lot of them here. You also maintain homes for disabled veterans. Tell us about that part of Habitat for Humanity.
And Habitat is all about providing a safe, decent home for somebody. And so as we've said, we have lots of veterans. We are in partnership with Home Depot Foundation, are working on veterans' homes, and we can spend up to $15,000 on their home. And we found we've done a lot of homes for elderly veterans that have lived here for a long time but are low income and don't have the means to really maintain their home. We did a home just right before Christmas, and a veteran family, their oven hadn't worked for a couple of years. And you don't know how people can live in that kind of environment, but the wife was so excited because she was going to make cookies for her grandkids and hadn't been able to do that for a long time. So for those veterans, we do a lot of energy efficiency, or they need bars and health and safety in their bathrooms and things like that, so it really improves the quality of life for them.
We're proud to say that Cox Communications is a partner of Habitat for Humanity in helping veterans. Tell us a little bit about that relationship that you have with Cox Communications.
Well, Cox is a very important institution in San Diego, and we're very proud to have that partnership with them. And so Cox has been out to build on our Lakeside homes for the wounded veterans several times. They're going to be back again next month, and they're great supporters of just housing and the veteran program.
You mentioned volunteers. Can anyone really show up at your door and say, I'm ready to go to work?
Yeah, you go to the website, sign up for a day. We show you where the volunteer opportunities are, so you can pick where you want to work. Show up, and it is pretty amazing. You have women that have never held a tool before. You just learn so much. By the end of the day, you're pretty good at what you started out. I mean, you've learned a lot and you get pretty good at it. You might not be able to make a living at it, but you can do it.
Is there a bad day working for Habitat?
No, there's never a bad day. Never a bad day. When you leave at the end of the day, you know that you've done something to help your fellow man, which is what we're all supposed to do. We're supposed to take care of ourselves and help one another.
All right. Lori, thank you so much, and thank you for Habitat for Humanity's work in San Diego.
Thanks for letting us come and talk to you today. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you. When we return, we'll hear from an agency that specializes in finding homes for the middle class and beyond. We'll be back in a couple of minutes.
Cox Communications and San Diego Habitat for Humanity have joined forces on Habitat's first Building for the Brave community in Lakeside. This community will serve those who have served us by providing affordable homes for disabled veterans and their families. The homes will be equipped with state-of-the-art furnishings adapted to the special needs of the veterans and will be sold to the families through a 0% mortgage. Cox Communications and all of our sponsors are proud to support Habitat for Humanity's Building for the Brave program.
Hi, I'm Steve Thomas. For years you've seen me building and renovating houses on television, and now I'm working with Habitat for Humanity. So what's with the old car? This old car can build a Habitat house. Come on, I'll show you how. You donate your car to Cars for Homes, and then all the proceeds go to help build Habitat homes in your community and around the world. Got an old car? Great. Donate it to Habitat for Humanity and build a house.
Welcome back to Cox San Diego Connection. For the better part of our show, we've been talking about housing in San Diego. There are a lot of agencies working hard every day to make sure people have access to a good home. It's groups such as Community Housing Works. With us now is the president and CEO of Community Housing Works, Sue Reynolds. Welcome, Sue. How are you?
Hey, Sal. Thank you.
Thank you for being with us. Now, your slogan is Own, Rent, and Achieve. What does that mean?
Well, it starts with the belief of our founders 30 years ago that a stable home is important and the grounds for doing everything. So we help people move themselves up in the world by giving them opportunities to own their own home, rent a stable, affordable apartment, and use those things to achieve the dreams they have for themselves and their family.
You've been with the group for 17 years, and I know you've done a lot of wonderful things, but what would you consider as your most satisfying accomplishment?
Well, if I had to think big, it would be the thousands of people that we've helped either keep their home in the face of foreclosure or buy their first home. Work that wasn't even happening in San Diego to help folks who never thought they could buy a home reach that goal.
Part of your organization is having programs to prepare people for housing. Why don't we start with the home buyer education program that you have? And how do you go about teaching people the process of buying a home?
Well, we're lucky to have a number of different ways we help people. Some folks, when they want to buy a home, want to talk to a realtor and go look at houses. Some folks say, I got to figure out what I can afford first. I better talk to a lender. And some folks say, I don't even know what questions to ask. I need some education. And we have services for all three of those ways to begin, and our home buyer education classes are available online or in person, and they really prepare you to be the kind of consumer who's going to get a safe, good deal.
You preach the get a plan strategy. What do you mean by that? And I guess that applies to anybody who's looking to buy a house, right?
Well, and actually almost everything. We have a financial fitness class, is what we call it, to help you get your credit and finances in order. And it enables the typical person who participates to reduce their debt by thousands of dollars and to increase their credit score simply by getting a plan to do those things and giving you the tools to be successful. They're awesome.
There are a lot of people in San Diego and throughout the country who work hard but yet have modest incomes and don't qualify for a home. But you help these type of people get their homes. How do you do that?
Well, we do it in several different ways. We are a lender who specializes in folks who are buying their first home for less than the typical price. So somebody whose family makes $70,000, $80,000 to parents making $40,000 a year, that person has trouble buying a home in San Diego, and we give them the services that make them be successful, including some market-beating home loan products.
I realize you've had thousands of success stories. Share one with us. Show us how you've touched somebody's life and how you've made their lives a whole lot better.
Well, one of the stories that inspires us is Alicia, who had a pretty tough start to life and was a real fighter and got herself out of a pretty bad marriage and took her kids off and is working at a paint store. And she came to us and said, I just work at a paint store. Can I be a homeowner? And we told her that if she spent money on the things that were most important and was willing to make sacrifices, she could do that. 5 years and many challenges later, she held the keys in her hand to a condominium townhome for herself and her 3 children. And she and her kids will never forget what it means to spend money on the things that are most important for you.
Wow, a great story. A few months ago, the City Council approved a measure that is going to help provide more affordable housing. Tell us how that is going to help a lot of people in San Diego.
The workforce fee, or the linkage fee as many folks call it, gives the city more money to create apartments that are cheaper than market rate apartments, the kinds of apartments that Community Housing Works owns from National City to Fallbrook. And those apartments are where families can really get a chance to get ahead because they are stable, attractive places where you can build a new life. And without a little bit of help from the government and a lot of other creativity, we can't make more of those apartments. It makes such a difference for the ordinary working family in San Diego.
When you get a family into a complex somewhere, and you know, kids are running around, they go to school, you have programs also for the children at the apartment complexes to help them with their own lives and things that they have going on. Tell us how that came about and how you use volunteers to get these things done.
Yes, it started when parents at our Orange Place community came to us and said, my kids have gotten beyond me with the homework. I never had as much schooling as these schools are giving them. Can you help us find help so that they can get ahead in the world and they never need to live in an affordable apartment? And so we've created an after-school program and reading programs that serve 1,000 kids a year all over the county and provide great opportunities for motivated, excited people to make a big impact in a kid's life.
We're running out of time, but quickly, how can people help you? By writing a check or simply volunteering? How do they reach you?
chworks.org, our website, is a great way to reach us. We need volunteers for those programs. We need donations to support those school success programs. And we need you to tell your friends and your family who need help with their credit or help buying that first house to come to Community Housing Works.
Sue Reynolds, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you so much,
Appreciate
Sal.
it. When we return, we'll continue our housing conversation with an agency that has helped thousands of people find good homes here in San Diego. Please stay with us.
I can't wait to make new friends, to go on an adventure, to explore new worlds, to have fun. I can't wait to be a Girl Scout. Start the fun now. Join Girl Scouts today at joingirlscouts.com.
This is our story, our legacy. 100 years of dedicated service, changing lives in San Diego.
It changed my life. This place has changed my life.
The Neighborhood House Association is celebrating 100 years of service, improving quality of life and empowering children, families, and seniors throughout San Diego.
I love coming here.
Be part of our legacy. Visit neighborhoodhouse.org to help. Neighborhood House Association, a neighbor you can count on since 1914.
Cox Communications and San Diego Habitat for Humanity have joined forces on Habitat's first Building for the Brave community in Lakeside. This community will serve those who have served us by providing affordable homes for disabled veterans and their families. The homes will be equipped with state-of-the-art furnishings adapted to the special needs of the veterans and will be sold to the families through a 0% mortgage. Cox Communications and all of our sponsors are proud to support Habitat for Humanity's Building for the Brave program.
Welcome back to Cox San Diego Connection. The topic is housing. As we've been learning, it's not just about giving someone a loan or even a house. It takes education and passion from agencies such as the San Diego Housing Commission, which is helping thousands of San Diegans on a daily basis. With us now is Jeff Davis of the Housing Commission. Jeff, welcome to our show. Appreciate you being with us.
Thank you.
You oversee, the City of San Diego oversees your budget, but you're not part of the City of San Diego. Tell us about this relationship.
Yes, we are a unique agency. We actually are state chartered. We do have our own budget, and we don't rely on the city or anyone else for our internal services like IT and human resources. We do, however, get our authority from the city, and the different initiatives that we want to push forward, we do need to get the approval from the Housing Authority, which is exclusively made up of city council members.
Interesting. But it works, I guess.
It does.
You help about 14,000 families in many, many ways. Let's start with the Housing Choice Voucher Program, also referred to as Section 8. How does that work?
We do. We serve about 14,500 families with our Housing Choice Voucher Program. And the way that program typically works is that a family is assisted with their rental payments to their owners for anything beyond 30% of the income that their family brings in. The housing agency, the city housing agency, the Housing Commission, actually is one of the very few agencies in the country, one of only 39 out of the 3,500 public housing authorities in the country, that has been given the designation of being a moving to work agency, which is a really exciting thing that we have going for us. So what we've done to our voucher program is sort of change the way members that receive assistance have their rent calculated. Unlike in the typical program where if you're an elderly disabled person, your rent is calculated the same as if you were a two-person household with work-able members. At the Housing Commission, we've created a Path to Success program wherein those that are elderly and disabled, perhaps living on a fixed income, which actually makes up most of our program, their rents continue to be calculated in much the same way. We've streamlined it a great deal, become a little less intrusive in their lives, but we recognize their situation is such that they need a regular kind of assistance and probably for long term. But for those families that we have on our program who do have work-able persons in the household, we've changed our program, and in that sense, we now expect these persons to be able to pay a minimum rent that's established at working at a minimum wage at a significant hours a week, and we set the rents at that amount. And then we provide them with all the tools they need in order to get the skills they need, the support they need, and even the job placement they may need in order to be able to afford these minimum rents. And we do that through our Achievement Academy.
Wonderful. You're also a real estate developer of sorts. Tell us how you work with developers to help them get projects off the ground.
Well, we do that in a lot of ways, but mostly through our gap financing. We partner with different affordable housing developers, and we provide the kind of gap financing that they need. If the tax credits and other things that they have put together for the project isn't enough, we come in and we make that, we fill that gap for them in order to ensure that the affordable development project is completed and that the affordability for those units remains for many decades to come.
You're also very much involved with the homeless, and a lot of people, myself included, did not know that this is part of what you guys do on a daily basis. Tell us how you are helping this segment of the population that is often forgotten.
Well, the Housing Commission has not always been as actively engaged in homelessness as it has become since our CEO has arrived. Rick Gentry came and saw the tools that we had and recognized the chronic problem that we have in the city, and decided that we really needed to focus and become a leader in homelessness. And we've really done that over the course of the last couple of years. We have partnered with many in developing different kinds of supportive housing for homeless persons. Probably the prime example of that would be Connections Housing, the one-stop shop in downtown San Diego. We not only supplied gap financing there to ensure that the project was able to be rehabilitated, but we also provided 89 vouchers, unique vouchers that we were able to create through our Moving to Work initiative, so that there are now 89 permanent housing units at Connections Housing that we support, that also provide support for the transitional beds that are in the lower floors of that complex.
You also administer money for first-time home buyers, and in the process have helped out about 5,000 families. Tell us about the satisfaction of knowing how you've gotten people to realize the American dream.
It is something that we're very proud of, something that our board has been particularly wanting us to do more of, and we've been happy to do that because we're able to provide low income and even moderate income folks who are near able to reach that American dream, get over the hump and be able to do that. And as you said, we've been able to do that for nearly 5,000 families.
As we wind down, what does the future hold for the Housing Commission?
Well, we just completed a 2-year strategic plan that was approved by our board, and it focuses a lot on moving our families that we are currently assisting into being able to be more self-reliant. We intend on doing that in a number of ways, including through our Achievement Academy, which continues to grow in its work readiness abilities. And we also, in our strategic plan, are really, again, as I said earlier, focusing on homelessness, seeing if we can't become one of the leaders in the city of San Diego to end this chronic problem that we have within the next few years.
Jeff, thanks for being with us, and thanks to the San Diego Housing Commission for all the great work. Thank you. Now, I'm Salvador Rivera, and on behalf of our guests and the employees of Cox Communications, we want to thank you for watching Cox San Diego Connection, helping you learn and prosper.